Foreign policy. The course set at given times determining the relationships, policies, and actions of the United States with or toward other states and international entities. This includes the amount of aid we give to other countries. Foreign aid comes in many different forms, such as medical help, food supplies, weapons, and of course, money. The United States reserves $50 billion to hand out to multiple countries, which sounds like a lot, but really is less than 2% of the nation's income. The top recipient is Israel. With the top recipient being Israel, Afghanistan is also one of the top recipients of the U.S.'s donations. The other countries in the Middle East also get some, along with Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Western Hemisphere. Africa gets $7 billion, and the Western Hemisphere gets $2 billion of the $50 billion budget. America started giving foreign aid during the 18th century, but began to bring countries up in power during World War I. America started paying other countries' debt to help them focus on the structure and stability of their economies and government, in which helped their economies and government in America as well, and it also helped spread spread of democracy throughout the world. It also made America a superpower by giving aid. It boosted the country's confidence, economy, and is out of good of morality. Also, it helps our military and gives the country protection. President Woodrow Wilson was always trying to make his decisions based on good morals. After his presidency, the thought of morality never left. Not every location in the world has the same resources as America does, or the opportunities. The United States has never fell under communism or dictatorship, so would it be fair for the U.S. to say, sorry, good luck, while other countries take those unfortunate factors into consideration, and try to help as much as possible? So if America stopped giving foreign aid to less fortunate countries, it would make the United States look bad. There wouldn't be any thought of the nation as a superpower, right? Besides, giving aid to other countries helps the United States keep its allies as well. Like during the Spanish-American War, the U.S. gave money to Cuba so military bases could be set up there. It was an agreement under the Platt Amendment that Cuba had to pay back the debts owed to the United States, or else they would still be under the control of America. Also, giving aid to Israel buys our protection and security. Israel wouldn't want to quit receiving money and artillery, so they promised protection to America so Israel can keep their powerful status. Also, America is a loyal member of the United Nations, and the United Nations donates to countries as well. So if the U.S. were to decline the obligation, it would make it look like a weak nation. America also spreads and promotes democracy and capitalism through foreign aid, so other countries wouldn't be convinced if the U.S. discontinued aid to anyone. Short and simple, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. It's the idea of foreign aid. By scratching Great Britain's back during World War II by giving them money to rebuild their country after being devastated by bombings in return, Europe gave the United States money for reconstruction as well. People scratch each other's backs all the time, so why is it so bad that countries do this? However, foreign aid has disrupted America's economy and hasn't resolved any worldwide issues, but just as has smoothed a few situations in countries over, but it isn't exactly fixing the internal problems of poverty and perishing nations. That's why a lot of people disagree with it. It hasn't resolved the corruption in Africa or the lack of resources. The United States developed on their own without any aid except once from England. And that wasn't for building up the country. So if America can do it, other countries should be able to, too. And if they can't, money can always fall into the wrong hands. So by giving education, resources, and technology, these unfortunate countries have a better chance at building up their country. The United States should always give foreign aid because it makes itself a more powerful country, morally and politically. But they should distribute it to those countries that can be responsible with the money that would be given to them, or aid should be strictly in the form of direct help, instead of indirect, and something in return from the recipient. Because after all, it feels better when you don't have to scratch your